Hi, this is Teresa Momber, and here's a look at the card I'll show you how to create in today's video. I'm starting by stamping the large dove on a branch image from the Peaceful Holidays stamp set from Gina Designs onto white cardstock using Memento Tuxedo black ink. And then I'm beginning the coloring using Copic Marker N5. Now I have the N5 where I want the deepest shading, and here I'm switching to Copic Marker N3, and I'm going to extend that shading out a little further. Now I'm switching to Copic Marker N1, and once again this is a little lighter color, and I'm going to continue to extend that shading into the lighter areas. Now I'm going to use my colorless blender, and I'm going to do that just to soften the transition from the gray into the white areas. And I'm going to use Copic marker YR000 just to add a touch of color to the dove's beak. And then after coloring the dove completely, I'm just going to use some detail scissors to cut him out. For my background, I've trimmed a piece of white cardstock to 3.5 by 4 3/4 inches, and I'm just going to place a mask on it that I've cut from sticky note with just a little curvy line along it. And then I'll sponge along that edge using Distress Oxide Iced Spruce ink. After my first snowbank is sponged in, I'll reposition that mask a few more times to create additional snowbanks. With the mask placed in the highest position, I'm now going to go ahead and sponge in the sky, having it darker at the top and a little lighter in the middle. Here I'm stamping the tree image, also from the Peaceful Holidays stamp set, using Gina Dark Sage ink, but I'm stamping off onto scratch paper first to make the image lighter. And then I'll stamp again over on the other side so that the trees extend across the entire piece of cardstock. Now I'll remove the mask and then reposition it into that next lower snowbank, and then once again stamp the trees. Then I'll repeat the process again for that bottom snowbank. Now I'm going to use a 50% cool gray Prismacolor pencil to add in some shadows in front of the trees. And I'm just going to create some little lines coming out from the trees at a slight angle, and then I'll go back and just make some little squiggles side to side to flesh them out a bit. But I'm keeping it really light, really subtle. Next, I'll stamp the dove image onto my background, once again using Memento Tuxedo black ink. And I'll use Copic Marker YG97 to color in the pine needles. And I'm just making little swiping motions with my Copic Marker with a little heavier touch at the base of the needle and then lifting as I extend it away. For the branch itself, I'm using Copic Marker W3. And now I'll adhere that original cutout dove onto the newly stamped one using craft glue. Now I think that scene needs a little more interest to it, so I'm going to stamp a few of the small silhouette deer images, also from the Peaceful Holidays stamp set, using Iced Spruce Distress Oxide ink. Once again, I'll go back to that 50% cool gray Prismacolor pencil to add in a few shadows in front of the deer. The sentiment I'm using is also from the Peaceful Holidays stamp set, and I'm stamping that using Versafine Onyx black ink. To complete the card, I'm just going to adhere the image layer to a piece of black onyx cardstock that's trimmed slightly larger, and then I'll adhere both pieces to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch Moonlit Fog card base. And that completes today's video. Thank you so much for watching.